A Central Texas rancher is fighting the federal government to keep control of his 35-acre property. So what's all the fuss about? Well, it's a tiny cave spider. Our Anna Wernicke has the story.
John Yearwood's dream of passing down his Central Texas ranch to his son may not happen.
We're kind of in limbo about what we can do with the land, if anything at all.
John Yearwood filed this lawsuit last week, challenging the constitutionality of the federal government to regulate a tiny cave spider known as the bone cave harvestman that only exists in Central Texas and just so happens to reside on Yearwood's 35-acre ranch.
It's having private property taken, basically, from our family.
Yearwood says he lets community organizations and church youth groups camp on his land.
If our client did any activity like letting kids camp on his property that disturbed the habitat of these species, he could be facing criminal penalties or civil fines.
But according to the Endangered Species Act, if the endangered spider is disturbed, Yearwood could be prosecuted by the federal government, leaving him in what his attorney Robert Henneke says to be a catch-22 dilemma.
Either he can go through a very, very expensive, time-consuming process to try to get an endangered species permit to let kids camp on his land, or he can run the risk that there might be something done that would disturb the species and he would be prosecuted either way.
You know, this property, the family's paid taxes on it for 140 years, has used it for 140 years. Then the federal government comes in and there's a big question on what we can do with our own land or whether we'll be prosecuted if we try to do something with it. It's a kind of a limbo situation.
Anna Wernicke, KXAN News.
Right now, 22,000 species in the United States are regulated by the Endangered Species Act, and Texas is home to at least 100 of those considered either endangered or threatened. We reached out to the Department of the Interior for comment, but so far we have not received any response.